When we think of love, we often imagine it happening close to home, between classmates, co-workers, or childhood friends. But sometimes, love doesn't follow rules or boundaries. Sometimes, it stretches across continents, cultures, and languages, weaving together two people who never thought their paths would cross. This is the story of how Russian women are finding Filipino single men, and why this unlikely connection is creating some of the most heartwarming relationships in the world. My name is Emily. I'm an American in my 20s, and when I first came across this trend, I was curious. Why would Russian women, tall, strong, proud women from one of the largest nations on Earth, be so interested in single men from the Philippines, a small island nation thousands of miles away?
Oh my gosh, look at this.
The answer, as I would soon learn, has everything to do with values, kindness, and the kind of love that can't be measured by wealth. Online beginnings. For many Russian women, the search begins online. Dating platforms and friendship groups have opened doors that didn't exist before. A woman sitting in Moscow or Novosibirsk can log onto her laptop and, within minutes, be talking to a Filipino man in Manila or Davao. Let me share the story of Irina. She's 27, from Vladivostok, and she once told me she had almost given up on love. Her past relationships had been cold, distant, and full of disappointment. Then one night, she joined an international friendship group on Facebook. There, she noticed a cheerful Filipino man named Arnel posting photos of his family reunion. There was something in his smile, something so genuine, that caught her attention. She left a simple comment. "Your family looks so happy." Arnel replied, and that small interaction turned into a conversation. The conversation turned into daily chats, and those chats soon turned into hours-long video calls. For the first time in her life, Irina said she felt like someone truly cared about her words, her feelings, her dreams. "I never thought love could start with a comment," she admitted, but with Arnel, it did. This is how many of these stories begin, not with grand gestures, but with simple kindness exchanged online. Meeting in person. Of course, not all relationships stay behind screens. Many Russian women are adventurous, and some choose to travel. The Philippines, with its warm beaches and friendly atmosphere, has become a place where Russian tourists sometimes discover more than just paradise. They discover love. Svetlana's story is one of those. She was 32, from Moscow, and had just gone through a painful breakup. Tired of the snow and her own heartbreak, she booked a vacation to Cebu. She wanted sun, peace, and a chance to clear her mind. One afternoon, while trying to read a church sign in English, she struggled with the translation. A Filipino man named Mark noticed her confusion. He offered help, and that simple act led to coffee, then to dinner, and finally, to something much more. Svetlana later said, "I came to the Philippines to heal, but I ended up finding a man who made me believe in love again." And she's not alone. Many Russian women who visit the Philippines say they are struck not just by the beauty of the islands, but by the warmth of the people, especially the men. For them, it feels like stepping into another world, one where kindness is abundant and love feels real. Through work and study. Another surprising way Russian women find Filipino single men is through work or study abroad. Filipinos are known worldwide as hardworking, and they're found in nearly every corner of the globe. Nurses, engineers, seafarers, IT workers, and wherever they go, they bring their warmth and humor. Olga's story proves this. At 25, she moved from Russia to Dubai to work as a nurse. In the same hospital, she met Carlo, a Filipino also working as a nurse. At first, they were simply colleagues, but over time, she noticed things about him that stood out. His respect for patients, his gentle way of speaking, his loyalty to his family back home. She said, "In a world where men often try to show off, he stood out because of his humility. That's when I realized he was different." That difference grew into friendship, then into love. Today, Olga and Carlo are building a life together. Proof that sometimes love doesn't need an online profile or a plane ticket. It just needs two people in the right place at the right time. Language and connection. One of the most touching things about these relationships is the effort both sides make to connect. Many Russian women begin learning English, or even Tagalog, just to talk more deeply with their Filipino partners. And many Filipinos, already skilled in English, Take time to understand Russian culture, traditions, and even a few words of Russian. Tatiana, a Russian artist, joined an online language exchange group to practice English. There, she met Joel, a single man from Davao. At first, they exchanged grammar corrections and vocabulary lessons, but soon, the lessons turned into personal questions. Joel asked about her dreams, her family, her fears. "Russian men don't ask about your soul," Tatiana said, but Joel cared. 2 years later, she moved to the Philippines. They married in a small church surrounded by Joel's big family. She often tells friends back home, "If you want to find true love, don't look at a man's wallet. Look at his heart, and that heart might just be in the Philippines." Why Filipino single men? So why do Russian women seek Filipino men specifically? The reasons are deeply human. First, Filipino men are known for their warmth. They smile, they laugh, they tease, they comfort. For Russian women who have felt emotional distance in their own relationships, this is refreshing. Second, family is everything in the Philippines. A Filipino man doesn't just marry a woman. He marries her family, and he invites her into his. For Russian women, who also value family but often struggle with fractured homes, this sense of belonging is priceless. Third, there's loyalty. Many Filipino men grow up with strong religious and cultural values that emphasize faithfulness and respect. Russian women admire this, especially in contrast to the heartbreak they've seen at home. And finally, there's resilience. Life in the Philippines isn't always easy, but Filipino men are known for their ability to stay hopeful, to keep smiling, even through hardship. For Russian women, who themselves are strong and resilient, this makes them perfect partners. The children they dream of. One of the most beautiful aspects of these unions is the way Russian women talk about children.
So many places to choose
Many of
from,
them say they
but
dream of
this
raising
one feels
kids
right.
with Filipino men
I think
because
I'll book
they
it.
imagine a home full of love, music, laughter, and togetherness. They picture fathers who come home after work and play with their children, who help with homework, who never forget birthdays. Natalia, a 30-year-old Russian teacher, once said, "I don't care if we live in a mansion or a small house. If my child grows up with a father who is kind, loving, and present, that's all I need." A love story for our times. When I step back and look at all these stories, I feel inspired. We live in a world where so many people are cynical about love, where apps make relationships feel disposable. But here we see thousands of Russian women finding hope, joy, and real connection with Filipino men. It's not about wealth, it's not about status, it's about shared values, about the things that truly matter: respect, kindness, family, and loyalty. And if you're Filipino and watching this right now, I want you to know something. You are admired. Across oceans, women see your strength, your humor, your devotion, and they dream of building a life with you. And to the Russian women searching, I say this: you are not alone. The man of your dreams might be waiting under the Philippine sun, ready to love you in a way that feels both new and eternal. Love doesn't always follow a map. Sometimes it draws its own lines, between Moscow and Manila, between Vladivostok and Cebu, between two hearts that refuse to give up. And when it does, it reminds us all that love is stronger than distance, stronger than culture, stronger than fear. This is how Russian women are finding Filipino single men. This is how love is rewriting borders. And this is why, no matter where you come from, you should never stop believing in it.